Hello, welcome back. Hades, episode 2.
How's it going, Skelly?
How about it?
Which one?
We're probably gonna do something very similar to a recent, the last episode, but with the spear this time.
It's time, Varatha.
I'm using the Guan spear, which does higher damage and has a life steal on its spin, but you have less health. 50, and all health pickups are halved. So, glass cannon, but it does a lot of damage. I tend to just take crit and kill everything from far away. That's been my strategy. Worked out. No changes to the heat, same 20. If you want to pause and verify. Not trying to pull one over on you or anything like that. And here we go. We're looking for crit on the special, hopefully at a higher rarity.
I don't reveal my greatest.
And there's fine. So,
Might of the Huntress.
stat, I'll walk you through the spear real quick in case you haven't seen it. You got regular attack, not much of a combo. This is it. You got hold for the spin attack, which sends a little spinning thing, and we got the throw, which is just a little projectile. It's different from the regular spear. If you've played with the regular spear, this is a bit different. Oh yeah, dash attack is a little arc like this as well. Knew I was forgetting something.
What lurks in the
Spear is probably one of
Styx?
my favorite weapons. I really like Guan Yu
Don't be a
spear.
knucklehead.
This is a pretty high tier weapon for me. This and the Arthur sword I really like. I mean, honestly, I like all the weapons. I've had good runs with almost everything. I've even had good runs with the fists. You just need specific things to go right. I'll mainly be looking for, on this build, I look for the charge up the special move, which lets you charge your special for 200% more damage or something like that. And with the increased base damage, if that crits, it does like an absurd amount of damage. You also notice that this spear has a bit of an AoE, right? If I don't have to be right on with it on the throw. Good thing to note as well with the special. Yeah, here we are, Hades. I'm recording these in a strange manner in that with Hades, since I'm uploading it pretty late, it's going up at like 8 or 9 o'clock p.m. my time, and I record these what were the rewards? Yeah, we'll go to see Chaos.
All right.
I record these in the afternoon, and then but this is tomorrow's episode. I record one day ahead now. I'm good.
Please visit me as frequently as you would like, or dare.
Okay, I skipped most of the dialogue, but I won't skip Chaos. Yeah, bonus any Chaos boon that gives me bonus special damage, I will take. Just don't. So the Chaos boon I took is every time I attack, I take 5 damage, but at the end, I'll get 50% more special damage, which is a pretty big thing, I would say. All in all, a pretty strong setup. But no, so I've moved my recording entirely so that I'm one day ahead always now. Basically, I record these the afternoon of the day before that they go up. So like, my morning Ratropolis is basically the only thing that I'll see any comments on.
Where now?
I may as well go. Nah, we'll go to the shop. Even if there's nothing in here, it's probably better than fighting. But no, like, so if you leave me a comment, I won't see it until tomorrow's episode, which will be the May 2nd for you or something like that. But, you know, hell yeah. It's fine, right? My backlog has been... I've done enough to keep a backlog relatively low.
And don't come back.
Right. Which has been good because it let me get like Leader Plus out within 3 hours of that Ratropolis episode.
Keep me going for a bit.
Erebus on... Yeah, I'll take this.
Let's go make
I'm just gonna not get hit here. That's the plan. Yeah, let me get Leader Plus out like 5 hours after Leader Plus was updated and released, which was very good. I would say pretty solid choice for me. The Erebus. This man, yeah.
Oh, I'm hit.
I knew.
As expected.
This is a weird enemy. I don't know if I ever have seen this before. I think this is someone that I've never seen before. Should not have gotten hit by this, but you know. Now I know. This is a pretty easy Erebus, all things considered. If you fail Erebus, you just get a little health.
Not my best.
It's fine. And also he laughs at you and goes, haha, what an idiot.
Hey, lads.
She's not wrong. But yeah, I had initially, I started taking off Fridays from streaming to theoretically set up a bigger backlog so that I would never make a mistake and forget to upload a video or anything like that. But when I have a backlog, I just end up going, well, I don't need to record right now because I already have the video set up to go. So like I have. So having a backlog has not been particularly on my list of things that are important to do.
The seasons have a certain...
Venator. Really, no, I'm gonna refresh. I want to attack.
No thanks.
Wow, this is the same thing, except she upped the rarity on... I'll take Venator's aid.
Perks you right up.
I don't think I explained the aids, which... Or I don't believe I explained what they do. I will explain them in this episode. I did not explain them in the last episode because I did not get one. I'll show it off. Basically, now that I have an aid, you can see it down here. This bar charges up per room, and I get access to a special ability that costs one of the 4 bars, or you can... Yeah, by the way. First thing I want to say, I want Demeter on the attack because this spin attack does taking damage and will stack up chill very quickly. Second thing I want to note is that the attack lifesteal, so I should be farming enemies for it. But oftentimes I try to farm lifesteal and just take damage, so you know. But no, I'll try and get an aid here. It's hard to get it unless you take damage. Honestly, it's like you will not be getting your aid unless you're taking a lot of damage. Typically on these early rooms, on later rooms when they're much longer, you can see a few aids coming through. But Demeter's just puts down a little zone that slows enemies and does damage to them and applies chill. Everyone has a different aid. There's one for every god except for Hermes, and I think that the best one is probably Ares. I'll drop it here. If you use it with, if you let the bar fill up to 4 bars, you get a bonus effect on your call. On Demeter's, it just is a longer effect in a bigger area. We'll see if we get one. This is a run that I could see being a very long run, because as you can tell, I'm very safe, right? These enemies, as I get hit, do not have much recourse to damage me, but my damage output is not very high unless I crit. I think that this build goes a lot better, because it's my opinion, not my opinion, I believe that with Artemis, your crit rate is increased based on rarity. Why do I say this? I had a run where I got an Artemis attack, I think it was, that was heroic, top difficult, or top rank, and I crit 100%. Like every single attack was critting. Which has led me to believe that perhaps there's a fish here. That ding means there's a fish.
Fishing time then.
Perhaps there is a correlation there. I would say maybe I was just lucky, but I don't think that's the case. I think that higher rarity is more crits. You can test it for yourself. Ooh, a Scion.
Wow, a skill Scion.
If you hit the button right as it right as the bobber goes down, you get a perfect catch, which gives you a better fish typically. Which doesn't matter because I'll just be saving these fish forever. But you know, at the end of the day, we'll have 1,000,000 fish, and it'll be great. And by the end of the day, I mean at the end of like a year from now. Unless they do something to wipe your save, right?
It's no
You
use.
did not earn this, boy.
These things, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned them either. Those little chests, you basically crack them open, kill those enemies as fast as you can. As the time goes on, the reward
No urns
slowly
permitted in this chamber.
shrinks. I'm actually 4 gold short of that Daedalus hammer. This is a tragedy.
I'll take
This is so sad. Okay, just, I mean, no matter which sister it is, since we're playing a
Hello,
special
Fury
focused,
sisters.
I think this is the easiest one, by the way.
Rather dull there, Zagreus. Great Daedalus decided not to grace you with his gifts this time around.
Megara, don't make me fight you. I mean, I'm gonna
Now that
fight
you
you.
mention it, he hasn't, no. Though I'm prepared to say I don't need special augmentations to get past you.
This is new dialogue.
Oh, we can put that to the test right now. Just remember, you need all the help you can get.
You know, it's like, I don't know if I've ever, maybe this is the first time I've ever gotten here without a Daedalus handle. This is the easiest combo in my opinion, Megara plus Electo. Persephone is the worst one to have as their assist. Essentially how this fight works is you can fight one of the three sisters on normal difficulty, and then when you turn up the heat, as I have, to give the bosses an extra effect, one of the sisters gets to support. Or two, sometimes you fight all three. I think Electo's support is not very hard to deal with, and I think Megara is the easiest of the three to fight as a main. Persephone also is an option for easiest, but I would prefer... The thing is, I think maybe, like, Electo's the easiest support to deal with. And I think Electo's the hardest when she's your main enemy. Ah, almost didn't get hit there.
You can't escape from me.
Like, this attack was an attack that I went, oh, this is unbelievable to fight, and then I got double dash and went, oh, never mind. That little ground attack she does is actually no problem. That'll do it. Easy peasy fight. No big deal against Megara.
Yes.
She's partially easier because, you know, I've fought her so many times. The low difficulty, she's who you learn on for a very long time before they start cycling through sisters.
How many times?
And I'm not going for a duo here. I kind of like taking Broken Spear Point after you take damage, become impervious to damage for 1.5 seconds. But the Acorn, right? Let me try taking the Spear Point here.
Okay.
Theoretically, the Spear Point is just going to stop me from getting absolutely murked if I get comboed out, right? The main thought is if I get caught by the Hydra's rapid fire missile shot, then only one of them will do damage to me. I'll impervious the rest of them. I wonder if it works on lava? Huh. Quick test here. Does not work on lava. Important thing to know. You know, Hades is another game that I feel like I could do daily runs of for a very long time. The only thing that I wonder about is if I'm going to stream it, right? That's all. But as I play it more, I'll get more comfortable. Same with Retropolis on hard mode, same with everything else, and I'll move into a different style of commentary as I have with Retropolis, except for not on Leader Plus, because Leader Plus takes like a lot of all of my commentaries. Ooh, look at these new cards and new things. Right. These runs, my only fear with Hades is that these runs will start to feel very samey since I play a very similar style on every run.
Good enough to eat.
Going for a win streak. So will I try to switch it up? Yeah, I'll probably switch up spear aspects. Like I'll probably not just play the same aspect every time. That's my thought process. Is just so that this run isn't like, because with the way seeding works too, we could literally see the same run. If I were to do another run with the spear and the same trinket start in the same heat layout, I would see the same opening. I'm pretty sure with how seeding works. The way that this game seeds is very interesting. There's no way for you to actually input a seed, but you can't put down multiple damage slogans. That's interesting. This is a horrible chest, by the way. A bunch of these guys that just jump around with armor, I'll be lucky to get ammo out of that. But with the way the seed works, essentially it's just what weapon, trinket, and like I think heat level you're on when you start the run determines your first determines your first boon. And then on top of that, like if you kill the enemies without getting hit, the RNG manipulation in this game comes down to like if you're able to, oh my, there's a lot of them in there. It comes down to like how much damage you take, what your health is at when you leave the room, how many pots you break, how many times you cast, things like that. So I can't be like, hey, here's the run seed. If you want to play along with me. Can't do this in Retropolis either, which is like, you know, it's fine, but it'd be interesting to say like, hey, here's like, especially in Retropolis, I think it'd be interesting. This game less so since this is a mechanical game more so than anything else. I'm getting hit here a lot because I'm trying to heal, and it's a foolish thing for me to do. Don't heal in the middle, heal on like the last enemy alive with this spear, so that you don't end up taking damage like I did here. But no, since this game is mostly mechanical, you could win a run that I lose by just getting hit less, very simply.
You want the usual or what there, Bob?
Give me extra dash? take Drift Dash.
The haste of Hermes.
I have had runs where I took too many speed increases and was actually just too fast. I couldn't really control my character. I just kept running into traps like crazy. Takes a little bit to get used to. Also, these rooms have been pretty rough, I gotta say. We'll get better if I get a good Daedalus in. That is kind of what I'm hoping on here. I think I should just not worry about trying to lifesteal on this enemy too.
Here they come.
No, the seeding in this game, if you're interested, there's a pretty... this is a horrible death defiance to lose here. I'm very out of practice with this game. There's a pretty active speedrun community for Hades. They just introduced a new category for the speedrunning, actually, of beating the game with all weapons back to back on no heat, which is an interesting category. I think that it's mostly, honestly, speedrunning in this game though is just not something I'm interested in, because it's mostly just how good are you at performing the first like 5 rooms exactly the same to get yourself started off in a strong manner. I feel very weak right now. I think it's because they keep sending me this exact same problem, which is this enemy that casts a bunch of bullets with shield on. It's throwing me off here. But yeah, the speedrunning for this game is pretty cool. I've watched a few of the speedrunners. They beat, I think they play Heat 14 for the any percent category, and they finished the game in like 6 minutes in game time, which is, and this is true, really fast. But it's a lot of finding like the perfect route through like shop chambers and such. All right, we got charge skewer. We're gonna do a lot more damage now, as you will see. But no, it's mostly just routing out the correct path that gives you the least amount of combats and getting you the most amount of free rooms. It's pretty cool stuff, but I decided it's not for me. After trying it out once or twice, I was like, yeah, I don't really like this, actually.
Easy.
Yeah, you can see we're getting some like 1k crits now with this on a charged up shot. I think that this setup is really good for bosses. We just gotta get there, right? A fully charged shot doing 1350 will make short work of most of the bosses. Just gotta get there. That's all. And we shouldn't be too bad. Like, the Barge of Death is probably the better thing to face here, since it's very easy to hit every enemy with this. As soon as they get rid of their shields anyway. I've also not used any Megara, which I should be doing probably. Even if she doesn't do a ton. Like, I have 5 uses of it, and I don't think I've ever used all 5. Mainly because there's 2 bosses you can't use her on, right? That's the best case for using a different, like Sisyphus, for example. You can use Sisyphus on everyone. Even though he does less damage, you can use him on Hades for a little health, or on Meg. Whereas you can only use Meg on Theseus and
Aphrodite.
Hydra.
I'm always here.
Like 15% reduced damage seems good, and I don't really want to drop a reroll token here. Cause like, what would I get? I would get more damage on attack. I'm gonna go for this.
No thanks.
I like dying Lament. I think it's fun.
Heartbreak time.
This makes enemies explode on death for a little damage, and they apply weakness. It's mostly fun because on a lot of some of the later rooms, it'll just like one-shot entire rooms, because it'll, like the small rat room, it'll just ricochet through the whole room and kill them all. For the most part, though, it's just going to be like a nice little helper to finish off some enemies. I think I've fought a lot of armored enemies on this run. I don't know. Certainly seems that way now. I've got a lot of mechanics to rebuild to become good at this game again. When I was playing this every day, I feel like I was doing decently in my winning side of things. Oh, these skulls are another great reason to take the dying Lament, even though you don't see them very often. I think on Heat 20 I was up to something like 11 wins in a row before throwing a run trying to do something different. Which is probably my greatest downfall, trying to keep the runs fresh and interesting. Yeah, I'll take this for a heal. I think that this game really is going to struggle. I'm going to struggle to have a ton of replayability. I mean, I'm going to have replayability in the gameplay, but the runs are going to start to look the same, which is why I need to prepare myself for, you know, Early runs here are just going to be like getting accustomed to the game again, and then once I'm back accustomed to it, it's just,
Worthless wretches.
you know,
That's that.
please heal me. Thanks.
Excellent.
We'll take... This should be the Hydra, right? Maybe not? I don't know. Maybe this isn't the Hydra? No, it is. Just in a weird room. Chamber
Power of the
24.
gods.
But now, similar to Retropolis, I hope that if you're watching this first episode and you're going to stick it with it for the next, I don't know, maybe 100, however many we go for here, you'll be able to watch me grow and get better at the content here. Thanks. Clip me. The drift dash really does give me some problems here in this room because I accidentally run into lava a lot. But you can see how crit special is doing here. I'm killing most of these Hydra phases in like 1 to 2 shots. You get a good crit and they just are dead, right? And if I don't get a good crit, I can still do like short charge ups and get him. And he's gonna shoot. With drift dash though, it does save me a lot of health on that attack, right? I can actually outrun his attack, as you can see there. And we're always like 1 crit away from phase switching pretty much. Get a good crit on a hit that hits multiple heads here to clear out most of this phase. The problem is that I lost the Death Defiance on the way here, which sets me back a little bit. And I'm also like 1 bad shot away from losing another one. I think I shouldn't from this position, but we did get a little close. I think I prefer Eurydice's Acorn after trying this fight out.
Demeter.
Little Demeter action on him there. I think I'd rather have Eurydice's Acorn. Really? He got that off? I thought he would stop after 1, since it was phase change. Most of the time when you change phases on a boss, they stop whatever they're doing when they gain the shield. But the Hydra's different. Sometimes if he's in the middle of a head slam, he finishes the second head slam.
Got some heft.
I've noticed. Not so bad though. A little sip of my drink here.
Just as we were finishing cleaning up Elysium.
I'm going back to Acorn. You can't stop me. I'll take a healing item here. I'm excited for the next big patch for this game. They're gonna add more weapon aspects, I believe, as well as more stuff to the wells, which is gonna be pretty nice. I have to imagine. No hammer here. Usually I see, like, I feel like I most commonly see a second hammer right there,
Over here.
like in the left chamber that I went in. Also, our health is very low. Good thing to note as well. But it doesn't really matter if I just crit. So easy strategy here is to just crit the enemies. Check this out. So if I just, like, watch this. If I just crit him here, see, he just dies. But I don't need to crit that one because he's low health because I hit him already. So yeah, here's my pro tip for playing crit charge special on the spear. Crit. Yeah, it's actually a really easy build. You just have to crit the enemies and then it does really well. But yeah, the weakness on death will help with all of these little goons that get spawned, right? Because I think they have 50 health. Maybe more because of the heat. I'm not sure. But the other thing is once I get a little more comfortable with the game, we're gonna go to 40, or not 40, 25 heat. And then maybe if I get good enough, the highest heat people play on for consistent wins is 32. That's max heat more or less. It's not quite max heat. It's max heat while not using any of the speed run restrictions, like you can't play like the one that makes you have to finish each floor in 9 minutes.
Time to mix up
For
my
example. Special deals more damage to armor. This is
style. In
ideal.
your favor yet. There.
Or it also doesn't use the mirror options, the ones that take away all your mirror ups. Mirror ups? You know what I mean. You might not know what I mean. All of your mirror benefits. Oh god, Thanatos.
Thought I'd drop in.
I mean, this is good because I'll get a little HP here.
How about another?
As long as I don't die, this is good, I should say. And it'll depend on how the floor looks.
Don't do that again.
If it's just a bunch of these guys, I'll win this without taking too much trouble, I imagine. But it won't be, because this is a long room. But if it is all this enemy, like it's starting to look, nah, there's gonna be some of these guys. On my list of enemies that got like almost too hard for me to deal with on 40% increased speed, the satyrs are number 1. But number 2 are like all of the dudes in Elysium, and when I say dudes, I mean like these dudes. With the exception of like shields, I think shields are relatively the same. But like, the spear dude is the worst. I cannot handle him. Man with spear in this area, he gets me a lot. Oh, that was actually pretty fast.
Till we meet again.
That wasn't so bad actually. Thanatos, give me
You
that.
got a lot of them.
Thank you.
Better.
What do we
Nice
got here?
running into you.
Get more health. My secret strat also is just get as much health as you possibly can in these runs. It's a really good strategy, but like as it turns out, if you have enough health, they just don't kill you unless you run out of it, which is how a lot of games work, as I've found out. Most games that include some sort of a health-based system, when you have health, you're usually alive, and if the enemies cannot do enough damage to reduce that to 0, then you tend to win. I know. It's crazy, I know. But it's what I've found after some time of playing games. Just have health.
Strength of the centaurs.
I will go for the Athena here because I want to get deflect on dash. I'll basically always take Athena when they offer it. Oh, Asterius.
I'm still learning all your tricks, short one. Come show me more.
So there's 2 rooms you can face in the elites. Two elite rooms that are unique in Elysium. The first one is the Soul Catcher room, which we had in the last run, and the second one is Asterius, where we just 1v1 Asterius for a minute. But the cool thing is, as long as we don't get killed here, Asterius will start the next fight with less health. You'll be able to notice it when we get in there. He'll be hurt because we don't kill him here. It's right about here. Yeah, he just says enough. Hey, excuse me. Yeah, don't you dare. Took my hands off the keyboard for a second. But yeah.
Well fought, Asterius.
Depends on your run which one's easier. I tend to think Asterius is easier.
Take heart, cousin.
Give me drift, or not drift dash, divine dash. Thank you.
Strength of the goddess.
I've really not been given anything for my attack yet, which is kind of wild. The downside of this strat, right? The mirror I have where I don't get god boons, basically. Turns out if you have the less god boons, you see less god boons. Which I think is actually worse. I would rather have, I don't know, the higher chance to have your boons be epic is kind of nice. But my 2 Daedalus hammers here, if you did not see or would like an explanation, because I don't think I explained the second one. I took 400% increased damage to armor, which is when they're covered in the yellow. It basically just makes it so that I'll break through armor in one shot pretty much no matter what. Ah, that wasn't great. It's okay though, I'm not, you may notice I'm taking a lot less damage now that I'm not trying to, oh god. And I'm getting caught on walls, and I'm also not trying to do spin attacks. Step on up. Come on closer. There's a little health. I think I'm safe to do spin attacks against these guys pretty much. They're very slow. I can get a little health back. I can also spin attack the eyes they drop and get some free health here. But like, I don't really feel like it's that worth it in the heat of battle. Chaos. Yeah, no, we're close to the boss, I think. I better not. But I did kind of want to. Because who doesn't like chaos? Cool character and cool effect. No, this is a very strong run thanks to my Daedalus hammer gets. If I didn't get the Daedalus hammers, it would be fine. I would just be spending a lot more time on every room, basically. Which is a problem, of course. I cannot argue. Because more time on these rooms leads me to more enemies having more chances to hit me and do damage. I saw one real one. Don't you dare. Elysium in particular is where you get an idea for how strong you are, I feel like. This is where it's like, oh man, we are very strong or very weak based on how fast it takes, or how long it takes you to kill these enemies. These guys don't include because of the shield mechanic that I do not enjoy. Nectar bottle, it hit the divine dash. Leveling up dash doesn't matter, because it's just more damage on the dash, which doesn't matter whatsoever. I do not use this dash for damage very often. And if I do, like the only time that I really do, oh god, oh my god. Oh dear. This, oh god, get me out of here. They will eventually time out, right? Thankfully I have drift dash, so eventually they will just run out of fuse. But yeah, I got my dash didn't quite clear the wall, and I took like 20 damage there. As you can imagine. Oh god. I don't know if I've ever seen a room this horrible. Armored carts that explode and butterfly catchers. What a nightmare. It's like I can see the frame rates dipping because of the amount of shit on my screen and how fast I'm moving. I think we got it though. Yeah. All in all, it could have been worse, but it could have been a lot better.
I'm grateful for this.
And this is our end. This is our last room, I believe.
Took care of those for you, mate.
Right? Yeah.
I'll pay for that.
It's like around 35. It's like around 10 chambers in Elysium, it seems like. I think my strategy to do better and get these runs over with quicker and also take less damage is to just forget to do my Meg at the start of the fight for one. And for two, I'm gonna do this on the stairs here. Like spending less time fighting in Elysium is good in both cases, right? Spending less time fighting in Elysium means I'm gonna spend a lot less time getting killed in Elysium, which is where I take a lot of my damage. By the way, if you most projectiles that you deflect with an effect, like a deflect dash, for example, will not hurt you when they land. However, there is an exception to this, and it is Theseus's grenades. If you deflect Theseus's grenades, here, I'll illustrate this when he's done unloading. I'll illustrate this before we kill him.
Down, want to go.
Come on, Theseus. So you see, if I dash through it, it removes the circle and sends it towards Theseus, but if I end up in the blast zone, I will still take damage. Something to look out for. Don't rely on the deflect. Like, honestly, try not to deflect on Theseus, but it's fine if you do. You just gotta keep an eye out on where it's gonna land. Please, Theseus. Just phase change. There we go. I love when he goes flying. I think it looks really sick.
Lord Ares, give me your power.
Ares is like, oh. You know, I don't love it. I think he's the hardest one for me. I know Poseidon's the hardest one for me, actually. I think which god you groan towards when he summons, though, is going to depend a lot on how your brain works. Oh, as my monitor blacks out on me mid-fight. Not the greatest time monitor. My poor monitor. I don't know what's going on with it. Oh, he can switch directions. He's spinning. Theseus, that's a sick move, dude. Holy shit, it got me.
We're not finished.
I can't believe he actually caught me. I blame the monitor. Technical limitations on monitor. But no, who you find the most troublesome is going to depend on how your brain works, I think. For me, Poseidon always catches me. Because Poseidon fills in the room like in sections, so I'll dodge out of the way of one section into the next section every time. Dropping myself to 1 death defiance is not good. Say hello to our shade man. There's a good case for a scaly tooth pickup here.
Your stubbornness shall only bring you fate.
I think I will.
Keepsakes hold power. What are you, the Fates?
Gives me 1 extra death defiance. I should check this. We may as well. If there's a kiss of STYX here and they offer me something good to purge. Dying Lament. 155 and then I refresh and try. Maybe I can get enough? I don't think so. Well, actually, I'll sell Dying Lament here anyway. I may as well reroll.
Change of plan.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I don't think the Demeter's Aid is particularly useful here.
One more stop. Check.
We're gonna look for a different aid, so I'll just sell it off. Or just no aid, because it doesn't really make a difference. You may notice I'm not really making good use of it. I personally believe that the best aid is any of them that give you defense. I don't tend to like using them for aggressiveness. So I will aim for... Ares is a defense and offense. Take damage because I'm looking at my finger instead of fighting. Ares is good. I like Athena and I like Poseidon. But Poseidon I think is the worst of the three options. I think the worst overall is probably Aphrodite's aid, which does a charm effect and a little damage. We'll take them all eventually, just so you can see them all. But
Weak. Poison.
Poison, by the way. Faders, by the way. I'll try to take them all so you can see all of the skills eventually. There are still some skills in this game I have not seen, right? I have not seen Athena's legendary. I have not seen Hermes, or not, yeah, Athena. No Hermes legendary yet for myself either. No. I think that might be it. Might just be no Athena, no Hermes. I've definitely seen Artemis. I've definitely seen. My timings. One day I will get better, but it's not today. It's like I try to finish my attack, right? That's what it is, and I just get hit. Now, if you're deflecting with dash, you will not take poison damage. So I don't take a ton of damage from these guys, but man, they still are annoying. I think that's what it is. I try to finish my attack when I should not. I should just cancel it and go. Oh, when they have the armor, I bet they attack faster. So yeah, this room I'm gonna... Hey, you got one. Timed it out just barely. Please again. $100. Satyrs I'm gonna take. Like, maybe if I play this game for like 100 years, I'll be able to dodge satyrs consistently. If we're lucky. Pomegranate. I don't like going to the skull rooms because they're very hard. They are not easy rooms whatsoever. However, you do not have to face the final room when you reach the end. Like when you get the satyr sack, you don't need to go to the final room. So I like to maybe like on the third one go for it. If I don't have the satyr sack already, I'll go for the skull because they give you double rewards. And like double health here would be pretty sick. Good time flies when I'm playing Hades, I gotta tell you. We're at 37 minutes in this recording. Right. Does not feel like it's been any time now. This game is really good. If you're like looking at this Hades and you're on the fence on buying it or not, I would say that if you're looking at this game for the story, you should not play it because the story is not finished. Just wait until it releases for the complete storyline move. But if you're wondering in terms of gameplay, is Hades worth it? The answer is a resounding yes. This game is incredible. Oh, this game sucks. Whoever invented satyrs, I don't know why you would do this to me. But you know, this room is one of my least favorite rooms though too. Like I play these games in the sense of I clear out the zones essentially where it's like, okay, this is an area that is safe for me to stand in. This is an area that is not safe for me to stand in. And this room is like 99% not safe because the little green circles on the floor spit out poison, there's traps flying in. You gotta be always moving. From like a design standpoint, it's a great room for forcing me out of my comfort. But
here goes.
For my own mental standpoint, it is hell. So I guess that's the point. This is Hades. This game also has given me like a little interest in learning Greek mythology, just to like hear and know some of these stories. Like I'm really interested in Orpheus' story as it's told. Like, because Orpheus is one of the characters in this game. He's a court musician. And his story seems pretty sad.
Should come in useful
here. Him and I think Eurydice, right? But I do not know it. I know the outcome of the story, but I don't know the actual tale. And I feel like a lot of Greek mythology is in the story, the telling of the stories, right? Like the Odyssey, for example. As I get 50 damage from giant rats. Oh god. This enemy also catches me a lot more on higher speed. These rats, they do a number on me from time to time. I'm trying to get a little health back here. A little. You know, because I cannot finish charging anything as I get hit again. You don't have time to finish charging a single attack against any enemy. Oh god.
That's one big satyr.
It's big satyr and big pot. Oh, this is the elite room, and I am going to get so bad here. Yeah, we are going to take a lot of damage.
Fine.
Actually, I'm gonna take less damage if I just call in there. Although she missed the satyr, but the satyr jumped in a little bit. Well, it could have gone worse. I'm very glad that I sold stuff for a Death Defiance and took Skelly's Tooth, though. Otherwise, we would be at 0 Death Defiances right now. That tunnel was rough. And this is the RNG part, right? If you're unlucky, you have to go through all of these rooms. Which causes you a lot of damage, as I mistime that once again. Really? I didn't think he had line of sight around here. I'm fucking around, I'm taking way too much. I'm gonna die on these tunnels from just like messing around in here. So let's try not doing that. I do so well, and then we get towards the end of these runs and I'm like, alright, time to just throw. Just utterly throw. I'm throwing trying to farm HP too, which is the worst part. I should know by now. Don't farm HP, it's not worth it, you just take more damage than you save. But like this enemy I can maybe farm, but I'm gonna get hit by a trap, you see? It's not worth it. Don't do it. You can do it if you get the spin attack up stuff. There's hammers that make your spin attack faster and lower the recovery time on it and make it bigger. You will not get me. You can never get me.
No way.
I used to think this act was easy until I turned on that 40% increased movement speed.
That's a lot of coin. Olympus, I accept this message.
Crit on attack, please? Yeah. It's crazy that we were almost going to go this entire round without getting anything on attack.
Had quite enough here, thanks.
I think that these 2 Death Defiances are fine.
Hungry, huh? Should stock up for the road ahead.
Let's grab something from Demeter though. I think that this is a heal that will also make my Death Defiances heal me for more, which is cool. And crit cast, I guess. I'm not gonna really take anything there. It's useful.
Thus has the prince.
Yeah, not a terrible run all for all. Honestly, I consider a run that makes it to Hades a victory. Even if I die to Hades, so be it. Although I don't know how many runs I've had recently that haven't made it to Hades, I gotta be honest. I always forget you can't skip this.
One last bit of business to take care of then.
What's he gotta say this time?
No matter how often you defeat me, I shall face you here.
Oh no, he's hot. I love the. Honestly, in terms of lore in this game, I am not on Zagreus' side. Like, I fight Hades because I gotta, but all things considered, I'm Team Hades. As I get my ass beat. Every loss is just giving Hades a victory for myself. No Acorn has cost me some damage, but I've effectively increased my health on this fight by 100.
This madness.
Spawning? Oh god, it's the teleporting butterfly. He has spawned some real nightmare enemies on these last 2 runs. Normally he spawns really easy to handle things. It's not big Hydra head and fucking teleporting Sunflower. I can't deal with this, dude. What is this? Look at my screen. Look at this. There's so many butterflies. I can't take it. I'm gonna get killed by this, for sure. Come on, crit. I missed the killing blow. Let me out. Okay. It's okay. The worst part is that he's probably gonna summon another one of those though here in a second, and that is just terrible. I don't like, that's the only thing I don't like. I don't like that Hades' summons are so hit or miss for myself. Please don't summon another butterfly. And it just teleported on top of me. I'm doomed. Teleporting butterfly. Almost might be better just to ignore it and go for that 80s kill. Really? Oh, it reset. If I get hit by a butterfly, it resets my spear for Interesting. I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to focus while I kill off this. Terrible. At least I come back at 100.
Skelly power.
Thanks, Skelly. Alright, well, we're through the worst of it now, I think. As long as I play smart, I should not lose this. Kill skulls that are in a bad position and make sure I just keep space. Oh, or I'm gonna eat 25 damage there for free and just die. Never mind. I actually decided to just pass over.
Something worth the while.
That's okay. Look. Summon literally anything else there.
He's tough for an old man.
And I win that. 100%. Summon anything else there and I win that fight. No doubt in my mind. Well, anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, leave me a like. Subscribe if you would like to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day.